Namaste, Vanakkam, Sat Sri Akal, Namaskara. Last week I was talking about the first audition with Sri M.S.V-2 and Mr. Joseph Krishna and Sam Joseph blessing me from the balcony of Chitralaya office. Before I proceed further, my first acquaintance with Tamil cinema music was when I had this 1 year break from my engineering from Anantapur College because of my ill health at Nellore. Every Sunday there used to be a Neyer Virupam, that is listener's choice from All India Radio, station A. There were only two stations at that time, station A and B. But to Nellore, which was about 110 miles away from Chennai, the signals were weak, so I had to go upstairs. We didn't have a radio at home at that time. I had a small transistor and listened to Tamil music. Though I didn't know the language at that time, that music sounded very different to me. Then I found out it was Viswanathan Ramamurthy who were doing that style of music in Tamil. And later when I came to Chennai for my engineering, I was staying in one Athreyapuram in Kodambakam. When I opened my room's windows, opposite was a milk vendor's stall. So every morning he used to come and open up, and after doing small puja, he used to switch on the radio. And I used to get all the Tamil songs through All India Radio, through his radio. But sometimes it was disturbing also. In the exam time, I had to request him to reduce the volume or whatever it is. But there I came to know the style of Tamil music which Viswanathan Ramamurthy and later Mr. Viswanathan were doing. Very modern, at the same time very melodious, and the orchestration and the obligators, everything was in my mind. That's how I came to get introduced to Tamil music, though I didn't know the language. So I am coming back again. After having the first audition, because of the instructions of M.S.Viswanathan, I started learning Tamil just by watching the wall posters, Tamil cinema wall posters, and keeping acquaintance with a lot of friends who used to speak Tamil and asking them what this letter was, what that letter was. And that's how somehow I could read well, though I could not write that fast, and my conversation quality improved. So, but yet it took me 2 years to garnish my strength and to approach M.S.V again, Mr. Viswanathan. But I didn't go to him yet. One day I concluded a recording in Bharani Studios. I was coming out, and Mr. Viswanathan was going inside for the afternoon session. He walks very fast. I just stood aside and said, "Vanakkam." I greeted him. He said "Vanakkam" and went and came back again. "You are that Telugu boy who gave audition to me. What happened? Since 2 years I didn't see you." I said, "Sir, I was trying to learn Tamil, and I was not confident enough to come to you." This conversation was happening in Tamil only. He said, "Your Tamil is good now. This is enough to sing a Tamil song." And then he asked me to come to a production office, film production office, the next weekend, Saturday. I went there. It was the first film they were producing, that producers. Later I came to know, but that producer was uncle of the present governor of Telangana, Tamilisai Soundararajan. Her uncle was the producer. So there was a song, and because M.S.V. Sir was senior most at the time, and he was a senior composer, and the producers were just coming to the industry. He convinced them that this boy should soon sing this song, and it was a duet with L.R. Ishwari. First time I met her there, and we recorded the song in Sharda Studios. The song goes like this. அத்தானோடு இப்படி இருந்து எத்தனை நாளாச்சு, அட இத்தனை நாளா இந்த சுகமில்லை நித்திரையும் வீணாச்சு. Fine, song was okayed, and so 7-8 takes. But the most unfortunate issue was the film didn't release at all. It was halfway through they stopped producing the film. It was painful to me. So my entry to Tamil industry could not happen properly. But M.S.Viswanathan sir said, don't worry, I have another production and I am doing music for a lot of films. In this particular film, there is a good song, I will give it to you. And he called me to the production office of Gem Movies. That gentleman was, the producer was the son-in-law of Mr. Balasubramaniam, Gemini Balasubramaniam. And the film's name was Shantanilayam. And the song was written by Kannadasan, and it was again a duet with the Susila Amma. We recorded this song in Golden Studios. S.P. Ramanathan sir was the recordist at that time. You know that song very well. It was such a popular song, which I sang for Gemini Ganeshan sir, and Kanchana was his heroine in that film. இயற்கை என்னும் இளைய கண்ணே ஏங்குகிறாள் துணையை எண்ணி. This was the song. And after the song was okay, I was given a check for 500 rupees, which was a big amount. I couldn't believe. Until then, my payment was from 150 rupees to 200 or something, to 250 rupees. So 500 rupees. So I wanted to celebrate this occasion, myself and my friend. We went to Pandi Bazaar, and in an air-conditioned restaurant, we had one masala dosa, gulab jamun, and strong coffee. That was a big party for us. And now the working style of Mr. M.S.Viswanathan. He will come around 7:30 to 7:45 to the studio, and the singers should be ready there. The lyricists should be ready there, and the musicians should be ready there. I am talking about the later stages, because previously all the musicians used to come to the production office, the composition used to happen there, and the singers used to come and rehearse for a couple of days and then go to the studio. But later stages, everything happened. The song was composed in the production office, but teaching the song to the singers and orchestration, everything happened only in the studio, recording studio. So when he is there at the harmonium, the singer should be there, as I said, and the composed song, he will go on playing, and we have to learn along with him. And while teaching the song, he will compose the do the orchestration, background score and everything. And not twice he will sing the song in the same style. He goes on improvising it. For me, it was very tough to catch which one I have to catch before going to the microphone, which one I have to sing. Because he goes on improvising so many times, so many things. But ultimately, the last thing which he teaches, I used to think, this must be the right one. Then, when the total orchestration was ready, we used to rehearse with the orchestra. And then we had little time, the singers, because he had to go and balance the musicians at the mixer, the console. So we used to go on practicing the song. But first time when the rehearsals used to start from the microphone, when the orchestra first intro is over, and we used to sing, after 8 bars or 10 bars, he will cut and he says, one thing, I'll come inside. And his assistant will bring his harmonium inside the voice room, and he will teach the song again. For some time, I was so confused. I am singing the same thing which he has taught us. Why he is coming so many times? Not only to me, to any singer. He will come, and when we sing the Pallavi all right, and when we are singing the Charanam, the stanza, again he will come and tell us something else. So like that, by the time we went to take, this song used to take a different shape. And ultimately, until he said, okay, we had to sing. Sometimes it was 6-7 times, 6-7 takes. And even if a musician used to make a mistake, we had to redo it again right from the beginning. Or if even we made a mistake, we had to redo it again. Like that. Sometimes it may go 20, 22, 23 takes, 24 takes also. So ultimately, when the music director said the song is okay, we used to go to the console room, and while we were listening to the song and every solo instrument is coming, he will look at them and smile That means his approval. You did well. And again, when the singer's part used to come and he used to look at us and smile, that was a big bonanza for all the musicians. I'll tell you one example. There used to be a musician called Satyam who used to play Shahnai for M.S.V. sir. He's a flautist also, but his Shahnai was exemplary. So one day the song recording was over and we all dispersed. And later I came to know the session was from 2 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the evening. And he went home, and wife of Mr. Satyam, who played Shahnai, calls M.S.Viswanathan sir. Those days we didn't have cell phones, landline. He takes and she introduces herself. She says, Ennamma, sollu, what happened? So my husband came from the recording. He's not talking to us properly. He didn't want his dinner, and he's almost crying. I don't know what had happened. Then Mr. Viswanathan also was flabbergasted, and he said, please give the phone to your husband. So she gave the phone to him, and Mr. Satyam was talking to him saying, sir, I didn't even take the payment for the song. What happened, Mr. Satyam? So you never looked at me, sir, when we were playing this song. You never looked at me, never smiled at me. I think I didn't play my instrument according to your satisfaction, sir, up to your standards, sir. That's why I am very unhappy, sir. And I didn't take the payment. எனக்கு சாப்பிட கூட மனசு வரல, sir. He said, I don't want to even eat my dinner. Then M.S.V. sir said, Mr. Satyam, you see, it's not necessary that I should always look at the musician who plays the instrument. It so happened that I was looking at the fader of the console or talking to the recordist saying that how to balance it later. I might have forgotten to look at you. That's all. You always play very, very well. You did extremely well. And he asked again, sir, are you sure, sir? Are you sure, sir? Yes, Mr. Satyam. If it was not all right, I could not have okayed you. There are so many instances like this. If I go on narrating, these things will take 3 or 4 episodes. But yet, I can't conclude talking about M.S.Viswanathan at this juncture. So we will have another session next week. There were so many experiences along with him. I have to talk, I have to tell about. Because the experience is not only to me, I want to share it to you all, how a song was recorded, how perfectionist he was, and what a big taskmaster he was, sometimes how angry he was with musicians, and sometimes how happy he was. And thank you once again to all of you, because you are sharing these episodes, and at the same time you are subscribing and you are liking it. I'm very, very grateful to you all, and have a wonderful, wonderful time until next Friday. I'll see you then. Namaste.